Welcome my freckled friends, this is Jamie, and in today's video we are finally getting to a song that I am super excited about. I've been excited about Guerrilla for a while, kind of since I started reacting to ATEEZ, because I've heard little bits of this song. And I have gotten from y'all that this is a bit more of like a rock song, or at least has like elements, rock elements, and that's my favorite genre. So I am looking forward to this. This is actually the only song that has a music video on this album. So we are, continuing with our discography. This is the next album in our chronological journey. This is the World EP1 movement, which it seems like we're almost caught up, because didn't they just come out with one? The one that they just came out with was part of this, the World series. Guerrilla is the only one with a music video, so we are just focusing solely on this song in this video. Usually I have like 2 or 3 songs to do, but we are also going to watch the trailers and the preview for this album. So there are 2 trailers and then there's 1 preview, so we're going to watch those as well. And then we're also going to watch the dance practice. I decided to watch the fixed version rather than the moving one, just so I can like fully see the choreography. Now, for all of the songs that are on, now obviously as with all of the albums that I have done, we will look at and listen to the rest of the songs on this album over on Patreon in the album review, which we are actually all caught up. So I was really behind on the album reviews. And so it took me a long time to get caught up, but we're now caught up. So the album review for this album will actually be this week as well. That'll be Saturday's video. That is where I will listen to Propaganda, Sector 1, Cyberpunk, WDIG, Where Do I Go, and New World over there on Patreon. So, and then a lot of these songs also have performances, so I probably will end up doing a whole other video with just performances for this album. So there we go. That is what we're gonna do today. So let's get to it. We're gonna start with the trailers. Let's go. These are long trailers too.
완전한 세계. 완전하기에 우리의 세계는 안전합니다. 작은 오차는 곧 균열이고 균열은 곧 고통으로 이어집니다. 고통은 삶에 있어서 불필요한 감정이며 부정적인 요소입니다. 우리는 여러분들을 보호하고자 합니다. 균열이 없는 세계는 언제나 아름답습니다. 각자의 위치에서 삶을 살아가는 여러분들의 이 세계 자체입니다. 스스로를 의심하지 마십시오. 당신은 언제나 옳습니다. 당신이 옳기에 우리가 옳은 것입니다. 명심하십시오. 우리는 당신을 위해 일합니다. 우리는 당신을 위해 헌신합니다. 이 모든 것은 당신을 위한 일입니다. 의심하지 마십시오. 당신은 언제나 스스로를 의심하지 마십시오. 우리가 옳은 것입니다. 명심하십시오. 우리는 당신을 위해
의심하지 마십시오.
언제나
의심하지 마십시오.
의심하지 마십시오. 영원한 고통으로 오십시오. 언제나
의심하지 마십시오.
당신은 스스로를 언제나 의심하십시오.
We need pain in our lives in order to appreciate the good times, you know what I mean? Also, it seems like they're sticking with the whole Rage Against the Machine kind of thing. Everybody say no, you know? which is cool. What is this? Wake Up the World. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with the ones that I have. All right, so the next one is even longer. The next one, the second trailer, is like over 4 minutes long. So this is exciting. Let's do it. We didn't see everybody, did we? Sorry, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. I don't think I saw Jongho or Yosang's faces. We saw Yuno, saw Mingi, we saw Hongjoong. Oh, or Sangwa. Didn't see Sangwa either. I saw Mingi, Hongjoong, Yuno, Wooyoung, and San. I don't think we saw Jongho, Yosang, or Sangwa in this trailer, from what I can remember. I think that was Yosang's voice though, wasn't it? Or no? Maybe it wasn't. Anyways, let's do it. Trailer number 2.
명심하십시오. 단말이 유엔시나 오늘은 완전한 에이티즈 우리의 세계에 안녕하십니까. 녹자 여러분.
일단 우리가 하는 건 동제 링크에서 벗어나게 해주는 것까지야. 그 다음은 개인의 의지에 맡기는 거지. 강제로 끌고 올 순 없어. 두려움이 큰 거니까. 그건 스스로가 옳다고만 하는 그들과 탈 바 없는 일이야.
Oh, that would bug the hell out of me. Having a cracked lens.
익숙해진 동지에 균열을 만드는 것.
I'm pretty sure, was that San running? I feel like I know his running style. And I don't know why. Was that San running? I think it is.
모든 것을 거꾸로 되돌리니까 멈춰져 있던 기계의 심장은 다시 움직이는. 기준을 세우고 감춰졌던 감정을 되찾고 사람 눈으로 깨어나게 하는 거지. 세상의 통제에서 벗어나 다시 움직이게 하는 것. 그것이 우리가 하고 있는 일이야.
What are those little, hold up. What are those little blimps called? They're called something. Little blimps. Little blimps. Blimps. Zeppelin. I knew it was like, I was like, it's the name of a group. That was bugging me. As it was falling, I just kept trying to think of what the name was. That was cool. I could do like a whole movie of this. We need to make like a K-pop movie, or they need to make movies like based on their storylines. Because I keep saying this. I've said this about BTS and their storyline. I said this about Stray Kids and some of their storylines. Like Freeze. Have you ever seen the video Freeze? I want a whole movie on that storyline from Stray Kids. And this, I would love a whole movie of this. Alright, so next up is the preview, which this is like 3 minutes long as well, so let's go. Gotcha. I'm actually not going to do this because I want to be surprised. Yeah, so I'm not going to, especially hearing how much of each song they're playing. So I am going to not do that. So let's find out what Guerrilla is about. Alright, Guerrilla is an anthem of rebellion and resistance against a dull, monotonous world. The lyrics depict a desire to break free and change the world. The word guerrilla is used as a metaphor for the group's approach to making change, quickly and unexpectedly, like a guerrilla attack. Overall, it's a powerful and energizing song that encourages listeners to stand up and take action towards making positive change. Alright, so let's do it. I'm excited. All I know is, break the wall! Sorry.
I got it back. 반을 뒤집어 this game. One chance 바로 지금 midday. Hack like that. 짧고 강렬한 이 escape. No next 나를 따라 쉽게. 지겨워 지겨도 지기지겨 new world. 지겨워 지겨도 이제 지쳤어. 사라지는 emotion. 정의 밑을 잃어가. 숨은 동기가 되어. 깜깜한 나는 진도. 참을 수 없어 normalize. 시간이 됐어 shoot the flashing light. 춤을 춰 break that wall 우리 below 여기저기 울려 퍼져 guerrilla. This is how we shout can't keep it loud. 모두 다 눈뜰 때까지 춤을 춰 break that wall 우리 below 여기저기 울려 퍼져 guerrilla. This is how we fight now we got it right. 세상을 춤을 춰 break that wall 우리 below 세상을 바꿀
First, can I just say that I think this is like a look for them. Like, I think this is their look, you know. Sometimes I think that the look just doesn't quite match them, but this this is their look. I'm loving it. And can I just say, I get a smile on my face every time. That was a weird way of saying that, but it makes me smile every time I hear that little giggle from Hongjoong. It is. It puts a smile on my face. That was a better way of saying it. I'm liking this so far. I do like This isn't, I would say that this definitely sounds like an ATEEZ song with some rock elements. You know what I mean? I don't know that I would call this a rock song. Although, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But it does have some like rock elements in it that I really like. I mean, you know, rock is very versatile, and there are so many different types of rock that I'm gonna take back what I just said.
감정에 눈을 감은 채 산다는 게 너에겐
Oh, I like that.
참을 수 없어 normalize 시간이 됐어 shoot the flashing light 숨을 쉬어 break that wall 우리 below 여기저기 울려 퍼져 guerrilla This is our shot 그게 guerrilla 모두 다 눈빛 때까지 숨을 쉬어 break that wall 우리 below 여기저기 울려 퍼져 guerrilla This is our fight now we're gonna ride 세상을
Sorry, that was a cool image and visual. Sorry, that was like that's what I was expecting the whole song to sound like. I think San's part right there, like even like I don't know what to say. Even the tone of his voice, very like very rock. I love it. I love it. Sorry. Doing that part. So that I think was the only part of the song I had heard before was the break the wall. Who's doing that? I want to know who's doing that. Is it Hong Joon? I'm trying to think who. I don't know. Who's doing that part? Sorry, we're gonna go back and do that again. Think of why did I all of a sudden think of a Stray Kids collab? I thought of like District 9. I was like, this is a kid from District 9. Sorry, my mind was going there. Oh, wouldn't it be so cool though? I think that's what we need to finally do in 2024. They do a lot of collabs, but they don't do a lot of collabs with each other. You know what I mean? And I think we need to start doing more with each other. Okay. That was awesome. I loved that so much. I know I stopped that a little bit more than I usually do. Y'all let me know what you think, because I feel like different reactors do things in different ways, and different people like different things when it comes to watching reactions. So which do you prefer? Do you prefer someone who just watches the whole thing with like no interruptions, no stops or pauses or rewinds or anything like that? Or do you prefer to see somebody like real time, exactly how they're reacting, stop it, rewind as they do? I don't know. I a lot of times like to listen to something completely without a lot of stops and pauses and rewinds and a lot of stuff, because I like to hear it, you know, the way that it's supposed to be heard, straight through, at least the first time that I'm watching something. But I don't know, sometimes I get so like, whoo, and I want to rewind stuff and watch it again. So I don't know. And like the one time I remember, I usually just watch stuff straight through, and the one time that I like paused a couple times, I got this like lengthy comment. I got this lengthy comment from somebody like, you should respect the artist enough to listen to it without so many pauses and without doing this and that. And I was like, I don't usually do that. Plus, I don't know that pausing means that you don't respect the artist, you know what I mean? But it was like the one time I actually like decided to pause and talk through, I get a comment about that, about not respecting the artist. So I don't know. I will have y'all sound off in the comments what you prefer. Yeah, that was wonderful. I loved it, and I'm very much excited. So I say this a lot, I think, in my album reviews. I go into a song with a certain idea of what it's going to sound like in my head, and the first like half of the song, it won't sound like that, but then the second half will sound exactly like what I had in my mind for the song. And so if ever there's a song that I'm kind of like that just doesn't go where I thought it was gonna go, and it's not doing what I thought it was gonna do, I just wait like a minute or two, maybe a minute and a half, and then it'll start doing what I expected it to do, which this song is kind of that same way. So the song at the beginning to me had more of an ATEEZ sound, like kind of EDM mixed with like trap beats and stuff like that, and so with like a couple of like rock elements added in and like thrown in there. And then I would say like San's part, how far in was that? Where are you? Yeah, like 2:45 to 3 minutes in was when it started like 100% sounding like a rock song. You know, like the production, the composition, the tone of their voices, like everything was very like rock, you know, and exactly what I expected it to sound like for the rest of the song. You know what I mean? But yeah, loved that. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the dance practice. I'm excited about this because this definitely was a video that was more story based rather than choreography. They did the choreography and it cut to the choreography every once in a while, but the video was mostly focused on the story of the song. So I am very much looking forward to seeing the full choreography. Why am I asking? Why am I asking? If it's someone flying through the air, it's gonna be San, right? Someone who has more energy than they should. It's gonna be San in a bucket hat. Is that San or is that your son? No, that was your son. I was like, wait, San is over here. Oh, cool. I will say, I do think that I sometimes sleep on Yosang and his dancing abilities, because he can go just as, I think because he's a little more like quiet and he's not in the front as much, I sometimes don't focus on him. But the times that I do focus on him, he has just as much energy and as much like as everybody else. So I'm sorry I thought that you were Sun because of your energy and your ups. That was cool. But sometimes he goes just as crazy as Sun. So anyways, let's go. Sorry, I didn't pay attention to any of that because I was trying to figure out who it was, because I saw San out of the corner of my eye and I was like, wait. Now I'm still like, where is San now? I see. Aren't any like weak dancers in this group. I was just thinking of that because I feel like typically groups have not necessarily weak dancers, but dancers that aren't quite as strong, you know, and the movement just doesn't seem as natural. They can do it and they can do it well, but it just doesn't, it looks like choreography. It doesn't seem like as natural for them. So they tend to be on the sides or in the back somewhere, unless it's like, unless they're featured, like they're singing or rapping or whatever. But this group just has like, I would say Janko probably has the least amount of like features when it comes to his dancing, but even him, he seems very like natural and very like good at what he's doing in his movements. So it's like this, I don't think this group has any like weak dancers or dancers who are a little bit, and you know, this is something I think that I find this with like any kind of sport. You can't necessarily say that, oh, you know, this generation is so much better than this last generation. It's because the standards have like gone up. So things that you used to not have to do before, so like in first generation K-pop, things that used to not be a thing in first generation K-pop is now like a normal. It's like one of the norms of K-pop. So you're expected to come into K-pop in this space knowing how to do this, you know, because of standards that were set in the previous generations. You know, with each generation, like a new standard is set. And so it makes it harder, and it makes it a little more stressful, I think, for, you know, each new generation of trainees and idols that comes up, you know, because they're expected to do more than their previous generation. I've noticed that is the same with like gymnastics. It's like the people who are in gymnastics right now, they're doing things that are at such a high level that was not a move that was done, you know, like in the 80s or in the 90s in gymnastics, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you're always, the standard is always rising, whichever word you want to use, with each new generation. And so it's like now, where you used to have someone who didn't really need to know how to dance, as long as they were good in at least either producing or singing or rapping. They didn't have to be that great in any of the other three. It's like dancing, singing, producing, rapping, right? You had to be good in at least one of them. And if you were like really amazing, like advanced level in one of them, they could forgive you for the other 3. You're not being that great in the other 3, right? And so, but now I feel like you're expected to be good in like at least 3 of the 4. It's like you're expected to be a good producer and rapper and singer, or a good singer and dancer and producer, or a, you know, it's like you have to be at a high level in a lot more things now than you used to be. So I don't know, that was a bit of a rant, but I think that is true about a lot of things. It's like each generation is expected to be at a higher level than the previous generation because the standard has risen, you know? So they didn't do any of the upside down Mingy stuff. I was like, that's a big boy. Are they gonna put him upside down? Because he was upside down in the video for some of that, wasn't he? During his his rap line. Wasn't he upside down? Maybe I'm like tripping and misremembering stuff. So I was like looking for it. I will say sometimes Django is a little more like calm than everybody else. When it comes to his dancing, he has a little more of a chill vibe. I mean, there are other times that he goes real hard as well, but I've noticed definitely in this, and I don't know if it's just because it's dance practice, but like there are some moves that still seem very natural and still flow very well, but he's like, I look at him and he's just like chilling. And then you look over at like San, and San's just like, I love him so much. His twitchy dancing. But yeah, so it's fun. Sorry, I keep interrupting. I hope y'all don't mind. I'm like trying something new to actually like say things as they pop up in my head. I love a good you know moment. Alright, what are these? That was cool. I was looking at the dancers and their little move to the floor. That was cool. So cool. Sorry, I like this song a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, which I knew I would. I was so excited about this song. I was almost as excited about this song as I was about Inception. I was not able to wait for Inception. But I was able to wait for this song. But I kind of wish I hadn't, and that I had listened to this earlier. Amazing. Love it. It's very ATEEZ. It's very ATEEZ. Yeah, I like, no, it's funny because I feel like the 3 groups that I'm really into have 3 distinct styles, and I really love that. And I feel like that, I don't necessarily think comparisons are a bad thing. I think I've said that before. I think that it helps people make connections, especially when you're starting to get into something or starting to learn about something. It helps making comparisons so that you can make those connections in your mind and you can learn stuff a little bit easier or a little bit quicker. So I don't necessarily think that comparisons are a bad thing, But I feel like it is definitely a lot easier to distinguish when you have three like very different groups. So every time I start like, oh, that kind of reminds me of this. So like for instance, I have said before that I think ATEEZ is a little more similar to BTS than Stray Kids is. Because y'all know BTS was like my baseline, because they were my first group that I listened to in K-pop. So that was kind of, like I said, that was my like baseline. And so when getting into other groups, I was kind of like, oh, well, this is different. Oh, well, this is kind of similar. Oh, I like this. Well, that's kind of, that reminds me of this. That reminds me of that. And so I noticed, since Stray Kids was my second group, Stray Kids is very different from BTS. I think in their approach to music, I think sometimes in their sound, they're just very different. And so when I started listening to ATEEZ, I started noticing some similarities between ATEEZ and BTS in their music. But then they do also have like their own sound. That's just, to me, it's very ATEEZ. Like you can listen to a song and you're like, yeah. Like I imagine that if you played some ATEEZ songs without playing their voices, or if you had different people singing, like if you had like studio singers or studio musicians singing in place of ATEEZ, you would still know that it was an ATEEZ song. The same with Stray Kids, the same with BTS. Like you would know these songs are their songs because they just very much sound like it. So this song, to me, was it Stray Kids that I was talking about? That I thought La 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 was like a good introduction song to Stray Kids because it was a very Stray Kids song. I think this is a very ATEEZ song and would be like a really good introduction song if you're trying to introduce somebody to ATEEZ. I think this is a good song to play for them because to me it's like it has all the elements that makes ATEEZ, you know, as well as like having them watch either the dance practice or a performance or something like that. It's very like organized chaos, which I feel like, or controlled chaos. That's what I was trying to say. Controlled chaos, which is, to me, is very much ATEEZ core, you know? But anyways, I think that is going to be it for today's video. I gotta go do some shopping. I haven't done any shopping in a while. And I always go in my closet and I'm like, I don't want to wear any of this. But it is starting to get warm too. We're supposed to get up to like 70 degrees next week. And in the next couple of weeks. And I'm like, we never got any snow. And I'm still really upset about that. Not even a flurry. It didn't happen last year either. And I'm like, I hope this is not our regular now. Because we used to get at least like one good snow a year. And I'm in Georgia, so when I mean good snow, I mean like a few inches. But we used to at least get that every year. And now it's like the last 2 years, we've not even gotten a flurry. Like nothing. It's making me mad. But our two like blizzards came in March. So we had a blizzard of 93, and then we had a really bad snowstorm in like 2014. I think that was in February. That may have been in February, like late February. But anyways, enough of that. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.